Thank you. Thank you all so much. First of all, I'd like to thank the Joe Niekro Foundation for asking me to speak tonight and share my story with you. I would also like to thank my family and my friends for coming tonight and for the love and support and prayers they have given me this last year. I would not have survived without them. I would especially like to thank my mom and dad, who I'm happy to say are here tonight. Thank you so much for being such great parents and loving me so well through all of this. There are no words to express my gratitude for being here tonight. There are no words to express my gratitude for being here at all. I kind of laugh a little bit when I think how life is so interesting, because I live about a mile from the finest medical center in the entire world. It's a stone's throw away from my house, the best hospitals, the best surgeons, yet I have my ruptured aneurysm in Corpus Christi. I was visiting my parents, enjoying time with my son. I was happy and carefree, and suddenly, in a moment, everything changed. It felt as if colossal bombs were exploding violently in my head, and I immediately knew something was incredibly wrong. I felt a pull at the back of my head and then a pop, and I could literally feel fluid running down the back of my head. And I thought to myself, oh my God, is this an aneurysm? And I was wailing and moaning in incredible pain in front of my 12-year-old son. And remarkably, he remained calm and cool and called 911 and then called my dad. I will always be in awe of Max's courage that day. He truly saved my life. He was my rock and will always be my hero. I would like for you all to meet Max. Max, will you stand, please? By the grace of God, my story does not end here. The ambulance and our dearest family friends arrived very quickly to meet us at my parents' house. When the EMTs walked in, I was draped in a hug by my mother's best friend, who had a rosary and was praying over me. When I arrived to the ER in Corpus Christi, I was adamant that I get to Houston as soon as possible, especially when they told me I had cranial bleeding. For those who know me, it's not a surprise to know that the entire time I was in the ER in Corpus Christi, I was on the phone, trying to come to Houston, calling everybody I know here, saying, I need a great neurosurgeon, I've got to go as soon as possible. And finally, of course, I got in trouble while in the ER as a brain trauma patient. The doctor walked in and said, get off the phone, get off the phone. Time is of the essence, you will not make it to Houston. We're life-flighting you to San Antonio. So when I got to San Antonio, I was thankfully blessed to have a great team and a doctor who told me to, a doctor who the very next day performed a grueling 10-hour surgery and placed me in a medically induced coma. Following the surgery, my condition was very touch and go. The doctors discovered that I had another ticking time bomb inside my head. On the opposite half of my brain lay another aneurysm, a mirror of the aneurysm that had ruptured. The second aneurysm made my condition even more grave. As my family and friends held vigil, they had no idea if I would make it or whether I would ever be the same. As if things couldn't get worse, I also had a stroke in my carotid artery while I lay recovering in ICU. In an effort to alleviate the danger the stroke presented, the doctors needed to keep my blood pressure very high, but that might cause the other aneurysm to rupture, which would have killed me. But I had grace. The grace that spirited me through all of this experience was astounding. I truly believe that this grace was brought on by my family and friends' prayers and support. At one point, when they really didn't think I would survive, a priest was called to my room to perform my last rites. He leaned over and told me he was going to do this. And apparently I told him to come back the next day. I'm not sure if I was procrastinating, which I do, or if somewhere inside of me I knew I was not going anywhere. More signs of my old self started to shine through as I was there. While still in the ICU, I told the doctors and the nurses I wanted to upgrade my room. Later, I learned that somehow I thought I was in a hotel in Cabo. A far cry from a coma in San Antonio. As I fought for my life, I remember being inspired by my son, Max. I would yell for him, I do remember that. He kept me alive. I also fought for my parents and my brothers. And of course, I fought for my extended family and my army of friends, of whom were always at the hospital. Although, a month later, I was so happy to come home from San Antonio, I have lived for the last year knowing I've got this second aneurysm. Basically, a live grenade in my head that could rupture any minute and end my life. But I am thrilled to report that exactly 2 months ago today, I was blessed with a phenomenal neurosurgeon who was able to perform surgery to clip the second aneurysm and keep it from bleeding in a mere 3 hours. I am so grateful to my brilliant neurosurgeon and my prayer warriors that this surgery was such a success, as the second aneurysm looked like it was about to rupture. Going through what I've been through and coming so close to death has totally changed my life. I will never be the same. I will never be the same. Every second since that aneurysm rupture has been such a blessed gift. A blessed gift I almost did not receive. Every moment living with that second aneurysm may have been my last. Every laugh, every hug, every I love you. It might not have all happened and could have been my last of everything. I appreciate it all. These gifts of life gratefully grace me. I am beyond blessed to be here. We all are. Life is such a gift. Let us use the blessing we have called life to make a difference. Think of Luke, a brave survivor, only 13 years old, and think of Connie too, a great humanitarian. Think of the Joe Niekro Gala next year. Imagine the survivors who will stand up here then. How can we help them? Please donate to aneurysm research and supporting aneurysm survivors. Please donate to awareness and education of aneurysms. I hope that hearing all of our stories might somehow inspire you, educate you, and possibly save a life. Let us work together to help as much as we can. I'm going to use my life to make a difference. I hope we all do. Thank you so much. God bless you.
With that in mind, I want to introduce our live auction.